Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. It is Thursday afternoon, and it is, I will say it, my favorite time of the week. That is when I'm on with my three amigos. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Super psyched to be here.
And Dion, how are you?
Howdy, Mike. Definitely ready for round three. It's going to be good.
There you go. So guys, if you guys know this, but people watching the channel know I've been calling for a housing slowdown for the last 6 months. I do think it's national. I think the cities or metros will be adjusting at different rates. Some are already feeling it. Some will feel it. Again, I will say slow down, not crash. But I thought each of us should talk about our little market because I know all three of us look every day. And I thought we would share signs of just little subtle things that we are seeing in our markets that really point to, you know what? Zuber's right. We do have a slowdown, not a crash. So who wants to go first? Raise your hand if you want to go first.
Dion, you can go first.
Let's go with Dion first.
There we go. So gracious, Matt. As you just know, I was going to be looking for a reason to say you were wrong about something.
Yeah. Matt, you're
wrong.
wrong.
You caught me. You caught me. I'm like, can't be wrong now because I'm talking after you. So go. It's your turn.
Exactly. So what I would call it, Mike, is a plateau.
Ooh, okay.
From April, May, and the beginning of June, prices were going up so fast. People were making over asking offers, waiving contingencies, trying to get their offer accepted before prices went higher because we saw they were going that way. At the end of May, I closed on a duplex that was asking price offer that only had one other asking price offer submitted. And I have a friend who I met recently, and she is killing it. She has some rentals in Ohio. She has some rentals here in Washington. She's selling a rental to what is called a reverse 1031 exchange. So I'm going to do a video with her about how that worked because I didn't know that was a thing.
They're awesome.
But she listed her house, and 2 months ago, the price she listed it at in the area, I would have expected 10, 15 offers over asking, waiving contingencies. And I think she had a couple of offers and 20,000 over what she was asking. So her deal's going to be great, but it wasn't the frenzy that we were seeing a couple of months ago. So we're still seeing over asking offers. Not always. Two other friends that I work with have done asking price offers and got them accepted. And what I like to remember is the asking price offer means something to the seller. To me, it's what will my yield be? And those numbers made sense. So had anybody chased it any further, I would have let mine go. I believe my friends would have let theirs go too, because that was where it made sense.
Good.
And 2 months ago, somebody would have outbid us. 3 months ago, somebody would have outbid us.
Yeah, definitely signs of a slowdown, right? Again, a slowdown doesn't mean backwards. It can absolutely mean, going from 100 to 60 is a slowdown. Going from 100 to 40 is a slowdown. These are all things that I think are happening right now, and you just got to pay attention in your market. Some are going from 100 to 90. Some are going from 100 to 30, right? That's exactly what I'll get to mine in a market. But Matt, what are you seeing?
Yes, seeing exactly the same thing. So Mike, probably 6 weeks ago, I gave you a call and said, hey, there's a 12 unit for sale.
I remember.
And we put together all the numbers, kind of ran through them all. And it was, they wanted 155, but they were going to carry like a couple $100,000 of the seller finance. It was going to be a couple $100,000 of seller financing. It's a second. Yep. And, and we were in there at I was in there at 1.5, and he said, nope, the price is 155. And I said, and then we had gotten some more of the expenses and things like that. And I was like, nope, walking away, going to walk away. I talked to my bank. They said, hey, here's the deal. You're a great investor. We love working with you. We don't love this deal. So they're like, we prefer you wait, find another deal. But if you want to do this, we'll support you. We just think it's a little bit skinny. I said, okay, sounds good. I get a love note from the agent 2 nights ago. Hey, would you do 145?
I love it.
And I said, oh, so close, but no.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's happening. We're starting to see the stuff like that. What's really interesting in my market, and every market's different, but the work that I've done in my market is single families are extremely unaffordable. Our affordability index is actually 1. I'm waiting to see if it actually goes negative because I've never seen one anywhere go negative.
Neither have I.
So I'm looking to see if our affordability index goes negative, and we should see that report in the next few days for last month. And then the other thing that's nuts is 5 to 20 unit stuff. Everybody's paying a premium per unit because it's a bunch of the big money on the sidelines saying, any acquisition I need to make a dent with. It's like, well, then go smash your head against the wall. That'll make a dent because you're overpaying per unit.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is I found my pocket because I'm doing my homework. I found my pocket 2 to 5, 2 to 4, excuse me, 2 to 4. Those numbers are not appreciating and they're not nearly as out of whack as the 1s or the 5 to 20s.
Wow.
I'm buying duplexes for almost the same rate per unit that those 12 units are selling for.
Wow.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
That's
You
dumb.
know, I just bought a duplex that's the units are larger than what those other 2 bedrooms were. The units are larger. I'm in at 287 for that building. It's a duplex. The price per unit on that other one was, you know, 140. So it was basically a net
Same.
wash, and I'm getting a duplex, its own building, and they're 3-bedroom units instead of 2-bedroom units. So the cash is just crazy. So yeah, we're absolutely seeing that here for sure. And it's to say, I saw in a couple of things on the Facebook group, people saying, I think I need to look for a different market. No. You need to look for a different asset class.
Yeah, you can, again, people, I wish more people would realize that. Stay in the same market, just switch, right? And it really is single families, 2 through 4s, 5s to 20s, right? That's where we can play. It's where I've played. And yeah, there are definitely different market classes. Looks like my camera is flickering, but I trust you guys can still hear me fine.
We can still hear you and see you. Sounded great.
Subliminal messaging we're putting out there.
Yes, it's Morse code.
Buy a rental.
Buy a rental. So in my market, you know, because again, I look at it every day. I have a great network. I think there's lots of things going on that point to a slowdown. First and foremost, inventory is up. Inventory is up about 10% in total, which is a sign of a slowdown. I'm talking to agents that are holding open houses every week, and their traffic is down to almost a trickle. I've actually had people reach out to me since then, and they're saying I've gotten no offers in a week. What's going on? I'm like, welcome to a normal market. I mean, you guys got so spoiled. In essence, August is not April, right? That's a saying I've adopted. April was, I mean, it was the best time to be exiting a flip or exiting a unit. August is not that month. I think it's going to slow down even more. I've been telling people I think inventory is going to go up. I didn't know where it went in July. We'll see that number shortly. But again, remember, we were at 1 million, then 1.1 million, then 1.3 million. Normal's 3 million, right? So even if we get to 2 million, we're still not back to normal. We've already talked about rents and rates and all of those things. Folks, the slowdown. And then again, what did we hear about FHA buyers? This tickled me. When was that? Wednesday? FHA buyers now make up 3.3% of the transactions, and they were almost zero, yeah, earlier in the year. So what does that mean? That means first-time buyers have a chance. They were getting outbid by cash buyers and investors before. So all signs point to a slowdown, not a crash. Do the work in your market, build a network. You can find great deals. And as Dion correctly says, it is always a great time to do a great deal.
And there's a caveat.
Thoughts? Go ahead.
There's a caveat with, there's a slowdown, right? Inventory increased 10%, but we're still a third of what it takes to be, a little more than a third to be a normal market, which means if there's somebody right now sitting on equity, and my thing is don't touch equity, but if your thing is to pull out a HELOC or do a cash out refinance, this is the time to do that, because right now, all of your comps for that equity are going to be on how prices went up in the last few months. We're now at the plateau. I don't think for several months, we're still going to see a decrease, but right now is when you're going to get the best ability to pull out your equity.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Well said. So Dion, how can people follow you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, and on Bigger Pockets, the Facebook groups is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me.
And if you're in my private Facebook group, you can tag him. He's in there and he's very interactive. So thank you for that, Dion. And how about you, Matt?
Lumberjacklandlord.com, Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and also in Mike's wonderful Facebook group.
Yes, we actually got you logged in and you're like actually answering questions. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's also like, then I sit down for dinner and it's like, ding, ding, ding. And I was like, what the hell?
He tagged me again.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. This has been a fun week and I will look forward to this next Thursday. Thank you very much.